Hello everyone. I haven't given updates in quite some time, and that's because nothing much has been happening outside of just the basic usual work shipping, maintaining the website, animating the community, and the last week I finally had some material that I can show you guys. So, first of all, big news, I can stay in this atelier until the end of February. I got extended 3 months, and that's very good news because it means I can I have more time to figure out where I want to take the company. If I want to grow bigger, if I want to go more on the creative side of things. So it's a big relief. However, because I was preparing to go away, the whole place is very messy and I have boxes everywhere. But it's working out. So I have been working a little bit on the printers, mostly to make them more silent. I upgraded to that cement blocks, and that's the plastic that are under washing machines for vibrations, and they are much more silent. I also made a specific profile to make them run a little bit slower. It adds maybe 10% print time, but I like having silence. And I was also preparing to potentially work from home, so I wanted them as silent as possible. One issue I did have is on some prints I had horizontal lines, and I figured that it was because my support XY separation was too big, so I had to play a bit with that. On this other side, I have some IKEA lac tables. I have four of them, and if you see here, I have some hinges, and that's because I was preparing to um, build the IKEA enclosures designed by Prusa or someone. It's on the Prusa website, and so the plan was to install them and then add some foam insulate sound insulating foam like they use in studios, and then I also got fans, silent fans for in the back to evacuate the air. And the plan was to make a completely closed enclosure that keeps the whole thing very silent. But that project is in a little bit of a pause at the moment because I have some more time and I don't know where I'm gonna move next. So I've paused that. So next we're gonna switch to this whole thing here. So I have some PCBs here. This is the old one, and there was always some issues with specifically that goes on the right, specifically those two columns here, which were because this one is not on the same z axis as this one, so there was quite a lot of bending involved. So the new design is this one, and you can see that there's really big bridges here and here, and it works in my experience, well, in my build experience limited so far, much better. You can see, I'm trying to switch here and here, the bridges and all the columns are much closer to the case and they fit much better. So speaking of PCBs, this one here, you cannot really see it well, the thumb cluster one is new, and I've got quite a few of them here. And those are Charybdis normal and nano thumb clusters with Perky RGB. And that's been asked a lot around in the Discord, and I'm happy to say that they are now in a mature state, and I have started shipping them consistently with each and every order I get. However, the firmware is not 100% ready yet. I'm working closely with Charlie. Thank you so much, Charlie, if you're watching this on the Discord. And my issue with Perky RGB was that I had trouble fitting it in on an Elite C, which has not that much available space on it. And then I thought fitting VIA as well on top of the trackball was impossible. And he managed to fit not only Perky RGB with the trackball code, but also VIA. And for me, that's completely black magic. But I'm working with him we're very close to a final version, and so soon I will be shipping as well via VIAL more precisely, and Perky RGB firmware on all my kits. As for the shop, I haven't yet added the option, but I will offer Perky RGB kits for the Charybdis just like I do for the Scylla, Skeletal, and TBK Mini. Otherwise, let's talk about this specific case. So as you see, Perky RGB and everything, let's get it a little bit closer. This stand is a design that I've been working on for some time. I've went through quite a few iterations, a bunch of them broke, because I wanted something a little bit more open, a little bit more organic, and a little bit more in synchronicity with the rest of the case, because this is nice, but here you have a completely open design, and then this tent which is very closed, whereas this one is a much more open design. And unfortunately I will not offer it as default. I will keep on offering the closed ones for the simple reason that this one, even though it is really beautiful, it's really hard to print. It takes a lot of time, supports are really awful to remove, but I will design one for the Skeletal as well, because this one is for the Nano, Charybdis Nano, and once that's designed and tested, it will be released on the GitHub repo as usual. And this has been asked a lot. The Elite C and Audio Jack are now in the tent rather than in the case. Finally, this case is a nylon print from GLC, and overall I am not super happy with the color. That's just my personal preference, but the surface, the surface finish and patterns are pretty good. You can compare this. The PLA print at the bottom is printed at 0.3 millimeters, whereas the nylon print is much smoother. So how do I unzoom? I don't know. That's not something I will offer on the shop, I think. Maybe on personal request, because those prints are still very expensive and I cannot offer them by default. Anyway, that's up for this week. I hope this was interesting for you guys. I will update you again next time I have interesting things to show on camera. As always, have a great week and see you next time.